now streaming live on YouTube. All right. I'll admit Rose. And Betsy, I guess you can go ahead and make George the host at this point. And then George, if you could go ahead and make Betsy a co-host.
Yeah, let me do that.
Okay, and George, you're going to share your screen?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
All right, Betsy's now co-host, and Rose Palmer has joined us. Good morning, Rose.
Good morning. Hello, everyone.
Hello. We are just doing the technical setup right now, so it may be a little droll until the meeting gets started, but feel free to stand by, and if you'd like to mute yourself until it's time, that would be great. We
All right,
see and hear you.
Great, you're live.
Excellent. And I can see George's presentation in preview mode. Okay, that's good. So George and Betsy, a question. We're having the first meeting from 9:15 to 9:45, and then the second meeting starts at 10. Is it just going to be a continuous stream, or are we going to stop one stream and start another? Do you guys have any preferences or ideas on that?
I think George said he'd be back in 5.
Oh, okay. I missed that. We'll really wait for him to come back and ask him.
Well, Carpenter's gonna be there too, so manufacturing what, PTOs?
And good morning, Joyce. What you'll notice on the screen is in the upper left-hand corner, it says live on YouTube. So Betsy was made the host first thing. She started the YouTube stream. She then made George the host, and George made her co-host. And when Betsy became host, she made myself and George co-host. So all three of us could switch back and forth. Time is 8:59. We should be starting at 9:15. George has stepped away and will be back in a moment. So I see your message, Betsy, about only being able to see me on the screen. So when George comes back, we'll get him to turn his camera on so I can spotlight him. I cannot spotlight anyone unless they have a camera. So at this point, if I hover over Rose, for instance, it does allow me to spotlight her. Not that I'm going to, but that does determine that a camera on is the requirement for spotlighting. So there we go. So we'll just wait for George to return. And I'm going to go back on mute. George, have you returned to us yet?
Yeah, I'm back.
Excellent. So what Betsy was mentioning in a private chat to me is that you would need to change the view because she's seeing my screen in the corner. So I don't know if you can spotlight yourself once you turn on your camera. Your camera has to be on in order to be able to spotlight. So I wanted to test that with you. If you hover over yourself, can you spotlight yourself? Excellent. Super. Thank you. Now, if you turn off your camera, let's try that real quick. If you turn off your camera, let's see if that spotlight goes away, and if you turn it back on, if it reverts. Okay, it's off, and I'm still talking, and George is still in spotlight to me. Is that the same case to you, Betsy?
Yes. Well,
Excellent.
now he's gone.
Okay, and who is spotlighted now? Anybody?
Now on YouTube, there's nothing.
Okay.
There's nothing in the
So
corner.
George, if you want to turn back on your camera, that's fine. Just that. So your image remains spotlighted. So it was just a still image of you, but that does, I guess, does not convey to YouTube. And that's fine. It's just something we're learning.
Now he's back.
Okay, good. So George, the question I had while you were gone is, are we just going to do a continuous live stream throughout both meetings with just a break in between for different participants to join back in, or should we do two different streams? You're muted currently.
I think we're going to need two different streams because I'm going to need to post them separately.
Okay. So Betsy, I guess we'll need you to stick around and start the second stream for us. We'll stay in the same call. The call itself will remain up and active, but the streams themselves will stop when George, I guess around 9:45 is what we're looking for, right, George?
Yes.
Yep. And then at right around 10 o'clock or just prior to that, or even as soon as right after we stop that first stream, we could start the second stream. Okay.
Okay, so George, as host, you can stop the live stream at 9:45 and then I'll restart it.
Right, you'll make Betsy the host just briefly. She'll restart
Right.
it. She'll then revert the host back to George. And I will just stay in the background and make sure if there's any guidance is needed, I can provide some if possible.
Great, thank you. I think we'll probably be done about 9:30. It's going to be a quick meeting.
Okay. Do we
So-
want to start? Do we want to start the other stream that early? I mean, that's a lot of time for people to have to fast forward through or look through. I mean, I guess they can, right, Betsy? You can actually move forward in a review of a YouTube video, just like you would any other YouTube video.
I suggest we stop the live stream right when the meeting ends and then we'll start it up at 5 or 10.
Okay, 5 minutes to 10. Okay, that
Yeah.
works great. Yep.
That way we don't have to have a screen up that shows, break
Right.
or whatever.
Right. So we can do that. We'll just leave the call up. All of us can mute our cameras and our mics and do the other work that we need to do in between the two meetings. And then we'll just reconnect probably maybe 10 till just to make sure we're all on the same page. Thanks. That's all I got.
Sounds good, thank you.
Good morning. are you?
Good. Hi, Angie.
Hi, how's it going?
Crazy, crazy, crazy.
Yes, it is.
I was hoping maybe you could tell me how it's going.
I don't know. I've got to find I guess it's a medical.
Hi, good morning. This is David, your Zoom operator. Wanted to welcome everybody. I wanted you guys to be aware that we are streaming live on YouTube at this point. So we're going to suggest people do stay muted until the meeting begins.
Good to know. Thank you, David.
There you
Thanks.
go. Thank you. Okay.
Rose, are you able to hear me?
I can hear you. This is Angie.
I can hear you, George. I just had my mic muted.
Thank you. Rose, I'm going to ask you to hop off because according to the bylaws, you are ex officio for all committees except the nominating committee.
Okay.
So I'm
right,
going to ask you to hop off, and if you can rejoin the same meeting anytime after 9:45, and then we'll start the main meeting at 10.
That works. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Rose. Sorry about that.
No problem.
This is Angie. I'm just stepping away for a minute.
No worries. Thanks.
But you don't have the camera on, apparently. Well,
Alt-V, it said.
You speak and see if people can hear you.
This is Jim Allman. Can you hear me, even if you can't see me?
We can both see and hear you, Judge Allman. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we're just waiting on one other person. I'll give her a couple of minutes.
Great. Hello, Patty, and hello, Angie.
Hello.
They're waiting for one person.
So good morning, everybody. My name is George Worthington. I'm Dementia Services Coordinator at the Department for Aging and Rehabilitative Services, and I'll be staffing this meeting today. Thank you for joining. We still are waiting on one other member of the nominating committee, and once she's here, then we'll have a quorum and we can go ahead and begin.
Great.
Yeah, no, I'm on. Yeah, thank you so much. All right. Have a good one. Okay, bye-bye. Hello.
Hello, Latroy.
Yes, I was struggling to find the email link. But it came.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were a number of things we had to update to find it ourselves.
No problem.
All right. So we have a quorum now. Is that right, George?
You're mute, George.
All right, there we go. Sorry, thank you all for joining us this morning. I appreciate your being here for the Virginia Public Guardian and Conservator Advisory Board Nominating Committee meeting. Just a few housekeeping rules or notices. We're currently live streaming to YouTube, and we will be also recording this meeting.
You're mute, George.
Very good.
Sorry, I was just starting the recording. So I'm going to do a quick roll call, and if you can just introduce yourselves. As I said, I'm George Worthington. I'm the Dementia Services Coordinator here at the Department for Aging and Rehabilitative Services, and I'll be staff to this meeting as well as the full meeting later on. Judge Allman, if you'd like to just say hello.
Yes, hello. I'm Jim Allman, and I am a retired circuit court member, a member of the advisory board.
Angie Phelan?
Yes, I'm Angie Phelan. I work at the Senior Connections Area Agency on Aging and represent the Virginia Area Agency on Aging across the state.
Thank you. And Latoya Roxburgh.
Latoya Roxburgh. I'm a licensed clinical social worker, and I have a small practice, L. Smith and Associates.
And Patty Mary. Patty, you're muted.
Hi, I'm Patty Meir. I work at DARS, and I'm the coordinator of the Public Guardianship program, and I'm here to assist George in any way I can in the nominating committee.
Great, thank you.
Okay, and we do have some other staff who are supporting this meeting today. Just a few housekeeping for Zoom. You see you have you should have the menu down at the bottom. Please keep yourself muted unless you're talking. And if you'd like to temporarily unmute yourself to speak, you can either use the space bar, just press the space bar and hold it down while you're speaking. And when you let it go, you'll be muted again. Please keep your video on so we can see you when you're speaking. And you can use the chat function to let us know of any tech issues. So we do have a staff member who will be monitoring the chat for any problems. And you can also use the chat to ask or answer any questions. So and then you also have a reactions button. We probably won't use those in this meeting since it's such a small meeting, but you can use a thumbs up if you're agreeing, or you can clap to raise your hand to speak. And then finally, you have view options in this area of the screen, which you can set yourself, but we will be spotlighting somebody who's presenting. You won't be able to change your main view. And unless there are any questions, we'll move into the meeting.
Well, muting is by pressing the space bar and repress.
Judge Allman, you'll have down at the bottom menu, you have a little microphone and it says mute. If you press that, and then there'll be a red line across it, that means you're muted. Once you're muted, you can use the space bar to unmute yourself.
I see. Okay, thanks.
Right.
You are still muted there. Sure.
Yeah, I'm just going to share this. Is everybody able to see the agenda okay?
Yes.
Great. So we've done the welcome and introductions. So we'll go ahead and we need to elect a chair from amongst yourselves to run the rest of the meeting. Would anybody like to volunteer to be chair for this meeting today?
I'd be happy to volunteer.
Great. So we have, we'll do a roll call election since this is an electronic meeting. Dr. Judge Almond, do you vote? Do you vote for yourself?
Yes.
Angie Phelan?
Yes.
Latrona Roxburgh?
Yes.
Okay, the ayes have it. Judge Almond, you are the chair. If you'd like to go ahead and lead the meeting from now.
All right, thank you very much. We are here, of course, to nominate a slate of officers, and there are 3 positions, and I understand that the chair and the vice chair are willing to re-up for another year term. I guess are there any other? I mean, I think we can proceed with those 2, and maybe we can do all of them together. But I know they have agreed to serve another term. Shall we go on and handle secretary at the same time? Or nomination?
I think so.
Okay. All right. Is there nominations are open for the position of secretary?
Hattie, is it proper for me to nominate myself?
I'll defer to the parliamentarians, but I don't think there's any problem with that at all.
And I would nominate her.
Okay,
I would nominate her.
All right, that would be terrific. I'll second the nominate secretary. All right, so the slate of officers are Rose Palmer for chair, Veronica Williams for vice chair, and Latroy Roxburgh for secretary. Are there any other nominations? Is there a motion that the nominations be closed?
I'll make the motion they be closed.
Is there a second?
Can I second?
Yes, I think so. I'll second if you if you can. All right. So, all in favor of closing the nominations, please say aye.
Aye.
I'm sorry, we do need to do a roll call.
Roll call on that. Okay.
So Judge Almond?
I vote yes.
Angie Phelan?
Yes.
And Latroy Roxburgh?
Yes.
Okay, the nominations are closed.
All right. Okay, let's have a vote then. All those in favor of the 3-person slate, please indicate by voting yes.
Okay, Judge Almond?
Yes.
Angie Phelan?
Yes.
And Latroy Roxburgh?
Yes.
Okay, the ayes have it.
So then those are the nominees that will be presented to the full board at its 10 o'clock meeting. Are there any other items to be taken up by the nominations committee? So,
No, I think that's it.
and George, thank you very much for staffing the meeting.
You're very welcome.
So we can rejoin at 10, is that correct?
Yes, that's right. So if you want to go ahead and adjourn the meeting and you'll be able to join the next the same meeting, same Zoom details. You can join after, say, 9:45, and we'll get started at 10.
Okay, very good. That sounds good. So without objection, this meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Judge Ullman.
Thank you.
Bye.